What's up, it's Nez and hello everyone and welcome back to Fail 12. Last episode we lost Shigetsugu and now I think Yu has gotten his memories back and he's fucking pissed that we didn't eliminate him instead. In the end, I spent my days following that as normal. The only notable difference is everyone's getting ready for the culture festival. I put a temporary hold on my efforts to gather information too. Mainly because I was curious about what Yu said. I expect him to make some sort of move against me, so I've been half-heartedly watching out for that. I made sure to fill in Miharu too. Somewhat ironic how I chose not to form a pact with her, and yet we're practically working together. We haven't shared the details of one another's cards, but that's about it. Miharu seems to be at something of a loss regarding how to proceed herself. As for Alan and Numero 11, I haven't seen either of them since our last encounter. Alan did mention that he was trying to get his hands on information pertaining to that duo, so it's possible that both parties are scouting each other out.
全然ダメだ。
I decide to go for a walk through the park to take my mind off things. The Culture Festival starts tomorrow and ends on Sunday. I shouldn't have to worry about being elected this week, so as long as I don't do anything to anyone else. I hope that things will settle down for a bit during the Culture Festival, since I've been hitting a wall so much recently. I need to get out of my frustrations today in order to accomplish that, though. Sitting down on my favorite bench, I gaze at the buildings in the distance. A single crow flies past, which makes the clock tower that already stands out all the more captivating. I still find it hard to believe that this is the final destination Parka mentioned. To me, it's the place I associate with my memories of childhood and my talk with Naomi a while back. I have to admit, I'm surprised Miharu didn't tear me a new one on Monday. Maybe something changed within her during Divine Selection. Actually, wait, hang on. If anyone's changed, it's me. I'm able to talk things out with her now. The same might apply to her. I've noticed that we've been keeping fewer things from each other. People can't forcefully change one another, but the way we interact with others can change along with us. That said, Naomi never changed her attitude towards me, despite how I treated her. She did everything she could to maintain the status quo. I understand the weight behind her offer to share responsibility with me far more than I did back then. My phone rings as if in response to my mumbling. That's a loud phone ring. I open up my text app only to learn that it's none other than Naomi. Hi, Naomi! The text reads, "What is it?" That's odd. It's like she heard what I just said, but that can't be. I didn't butt dial her or anything.
先輩
Oh, she's right here, which is kinda creepy in a sense. I hear a voice come from behind me. Naomi! Part of me thinks I'm hearing things.
うわ、ナオミすみません。そんなに驚かせてしまうなんて思いませんでした。いや、それはいいんだけど。はい。準備も大部分が終わってるので、その分、明日は早朝からなんですけどね。リンカ先輩って遠足の前日にそわそわして眠れないって。私はあんまり。先輩らしいです。私はそんな子だったんです。
Why do we have some melancholic music playing behind us? What's with the dramatic change of mood? Why is it here when we just met up with Naomi right after you got pissed at us? Something bad's gonna happen to Naomi. Oh no.
それで緊張とか不安とかそういうので落ち着かなくって。実は私たまにこの場所に来てたんです。
She struggles to hide her shy expression, not to mention her flushed cheeks. I feel myself cracking a smile.
ナオミはリーダーだしね。大変だ。もうプレッシャーかけないでください。私って地味だから、ただでさえこういうの初めてで、昔から引っ込み思案だったから。大丈夫だよ。
I know I shouldn't laugh, but there's just something inherently adorable about her. Part of me is envious over her ability to worry so much over something like this. But that isn't the main reason I find myself smiling.
初めて会った時からは考えられないね。もう恥ずかしいから思い出さないでください。懐かしい。あれはまだ4月の最初で。
Why are we reminiscing about the past? It was the Saturday after the first and second years had their entrance and opening ceremonies respectively. Class ended in the morning for us that day, but I was told to stay behind and finish all my homework I hadn't handed in. Not that it was my fault I hadn't done it. Gran was going to the countryside at the end of March, so I spent most of my time helping her with her luggage and making preparations for living on my own, not to mention the time learning the ropes so Lion House could stay open. Those were all personal circumstances though. Bringing them up with my teachers felt like I'd be making excuses, so I refused. Thus, I ended up retreating into the library to get it all done. The place was empty because the new term had just begun, with the exception of one person. Was this our very first meeting with Naomi? That person was Hitsuji Naomi, who had just started her life at the Mecca. She must be a real bookworm to visit the library already. That was my first impression of her. I made my way over to an empty seat, piling all the homework waiting to be done. Naomi sat not too far from me, reading through a big pile of books. Thinking back, she must be a speed reader, considering she planned to finish the whole lot.
楽しいのかな?
I couldn't help but ponder aloud. She could have made some coffee and gotten cozy on her own bed to read if she just took them home. Granted, it wasn't my place to question her logic while I sat there to finish homework at the beginning of the first term. I'm not even sure how long we were in there for. All I remember was that it had grown pitch black outside. Just as I was about to leave to avoid being shouted at for staying past opening hours, I noticed Naomi was still there. She wasn't reading though. She looked like she was searching for something. She made her way through the bookshelves, checking the spines one by one. I can't recall if she said those exact words or not, but I did hear some sort of panic noise. Some sort of Naomi noise. Her expression and attitude made it all the more apparent, and that loop was so out of touch.
ねえ、どうしたの? すみません。もう帰りますから。いや、私別に図書委員とかじゃないし、困ってるように見えたけど。
Her reaction forced me to remember my bad reputation. Mao said the rumors about me spread like wildfire, even over the most minor of things, so the first years may already be aware of me. Golden streaks in my hair, an intimidating expression, and petite. It hurt to admit it, but most people would recognize someone with such specific traits. Judging by her demeanor, it's obvious that she's too scared to talk.
まあいいや。何か探してるんでしょ? それだけ教えて。もうちょっとすると見回りの先生来て追い出されるよ。
I have fond memories of how funny her reaction to that was. Her eyes darted all over as she struggled to find a reply. Eventually, she stared right at me before speaking up.
自分の手帳を文庫本と間違えてしまっちゃって。
Naomi, you dummy!
読みながら歩いてたら間違えたことにも気づかなくって。おっちょこちょい?
Apparently, she received a notebook from her mom as an enrollment gift. Losing it that fast might earn her a record or two. She'd probably get a prize in innovation for the way she did so too. That said, I felt bad for her. It didn't seem likely that anyone would stumble across it, considering how many books the library had. Things would only get more difficult as the days passed and people switched them in and out too. That's why I decided to help her out. A teacher eventually did come along to chase us off. I stopped searching at that point, instead opting to buy Naomi some time. An hour or so later, she managed to find it.
本当にご迷惑をおかけしました。説得っていうのかな、あれ。まあでも見つかってよかったね。駅まで一緒に。
Our first meeting with Naomi!
私と一緒にいるところを見られたら変な噂でも立つかもよ。噂？どうしてですか？だってさっき私のこと怖がってなかった？怖がってた？いえ、あれは恥ずかしくって。あんななくし方普通しないじゃないですか。それもそうだね。
I felt dumb for worrying about my reputation. She didn't know and my appearance hadn't intimidated her. It wasn't all that special a moment when I think about it, but somehow, I felt like it was.
Shishimai Rinka, よろしくね。獅子舞先輩。私は羊直美です。よろしくお願いします。
I think it took less than a week for her to become more casual around me. Oh, it's worth noting that she tripped over herself on her way to the station. There was nothing special about how we met, yet it was a memorable occasion to me regardless. Something bad is definitely gonna happen to Naomi. We're reminiscing! No! The game is setting it up. Both of us laugh as we talk about the past.
そういえばさ、なんで図書室で手帳を出してたの？読んだ本の題名とか感想とかを書くようにしてるんです。私にとってはそれが日記の代わりで。
It's taken 2 months, but now my curiosity is sated. It makes sense considering how organized she is.
ねえ、ナオミ。先輩、月曜日に言おうと。
Oh. We both speak at the same time, interrupting one another. The embarrassment that follows leads to a brief silence. We do it a second time, but now Naomi smiles.
どうぞ。文化祭が終わったら話そうって考えてたんだけどさ、私がナオミを突き放しちゃったこと、ごめんね。私の勝手で遠ざけちゃって。そんな。だってリンカ先輩は私のこと心配してくれたから。
Her eyes are darting all over again, but I make sure to keep my eyes on her. I need her to understand that she shouldn't hold back. Noticing that, she nods.
私はやっぱり弱いまま。だからね、もしナオミが良ければ。
Naomi cuts me off with a hug. He pulls me right in and squeezes hard enough that I feel each of her fingers caressing my back.
答えなんて決まってるじゃないですか。
Oh no! She is so gonna die! There are death flags being raised everywhere!
ありがとう。あ、すみません。つい。
She pushes away from me, leaving her hands out in front of her. I grab both with my right hand and then place my left on top.
まあでも、まずは明日と明後日の文化祭。はい。
We spend some time chatting away following that. Once the park is about to close, we leave. It really is strange. The time we spent together in the park was brief, but it made me feel far better than I had in a long time. Naomi! Ooh, Culture Festival!
おはよう、リンカ。
Hello, waifu!
あ、おはよう。
Miharu arrives at school as I'm thinking back over the past week. We agreed to meet before moving on to help our class with stuff. Just waiting on Mao now, then the 3 musketeers will have gathered.
今週ずっと考え込んでいるように見えたけれど、少しすっきりしたようだね。
何か。ちょっとお散歩しただけ。
くすそうかい。難しい顔をするリンカも魅力的だけれど、今日くらいは気分転換をした方がいい。
意外だね。美晴がナオミのこと気にするなんて。
そうかな。僕もちゃんと彼女が頑張っていたことは認めているよ。
I'm glad you're friends with Naomi, Miharu, and I'm glad that you care for her.
そうだね。
やっと笑ってくれたね。僕でも君を笑わせることができて安心しているよ。
大げさなんだから。おはよう。いや、寝坊しちゃったよ。
As usual. Mao turns up 5 minutes late. Her face, not to mention the bags under her eyes, make it obvious that she's pretty worn out.
文化祭だから余裕と思って、つい家にある漫画を読み返しちゃってたよ。平日だって同じでしょ。まあちょっと早めに待ち合わせしておいたし大丈夫。行こうか。お疲れ。
なんとも形容しがたい中途半端さだったね。占いの館という安直な名前なのはともかくとして、部屋を暗くして水晶を置いておけば雰囲気が出ると思っているようだね。予算がないから衣装が黒い布をまとうだけというのは仕方がないけれど、僕たちの仕事がお客さんの占い結果を印刷して渡すだけというのは面白みに欠けるよ。
Wow, our class didn't even try.
みはる、今日毒がすごいね。
And that's why we love you.
まあまあ、うちはそれなりに楽しめたよ。
Miharu wasn't wrong though. It was very meh, to say the least. The fortune telling itself was done via PC program, fought by one of the girls familiar with that sort of stuff, so that wasn't bad. You put your date of birth and other info in, then it spits out a result based on your horoscopes. It was our job to print and hand out these results to anyone who wanted them. Wow! Legitimate fortune telling! She probably didn't get permission from the creator to use this, so the idea was a bit of a gray area. Then again, charging 100 yen per go probably tipped the scales.
しかし、これでやっと文化祭を堪能できるね。
羊さんの喫茶店へ立ち寄ったら、僕は図書室で午後まで時間を潰して帰宅させてもらうけどね。
うちも。まあでもみんな頑張ってるし、せっかくだし校内一周はしとかないとね。
Time to go see Naomi!
ああ、疲れたね。
We actually end up walking around the whole school. Mao doesn't have it in her to skip stuff she has no interest in if she sees that people put effort into it. Not sure if I should praise her for that or not. We're used to her dragging us around like this since last year, so neither me nor Miharu are bothered. Not that we'd admit it to her, of course. Well, we do skip out on stuff going on at the auditorium and courtyard, so you could argue it is more of a case of self-gratification. There's still plenty to see and learn from going around and checking out different stuff at least. Speaking of, there's one major thing I noticed while we're doing so.
校内カップ持ってる人が多いよね。
プラスチックのキャップのついた紙コップだね。
繁盛してるってことですな。校内で持ち運べるようにしたのは正解かもだね。ナオミ、頑張ってるかな。リータンも気になる？じゃ、そろそろナオリンの教室に突撃しよう。
We passed by once already, so we know which way to go. The corridors have been gradually filling up with people as the day drags on. We make our way through the crowd with one destination in mind: Naomi's classroom!
おー、飾り付けしてある。
That's a lot of balloons! The first year classrooms are up on the third floor, with Naomi's being at the end of the corridor. There seem to be a lot of customers too, possibly thanks to the tickets they're selling at the reception area. One door is being used as an entrance and the other as an exit. A number of people are making their way out, plastic cups in hand. It feels similar to what you see at big coffee shop chains. Granted, this is largely meant to be used more of a rest area. You can see the dripping procedure as well, so I guess that's part of the experience. There's a nice fragrance making its way to the hallway. That's a good sign. It's probably one of the reasons why it's so busy. You normally don't get the chance to enjoy something like this at school. I split the tickets between the three of us before we make our way in.
あれ、ナオリンは？見当たらないね。
Oh no!
ちょっとうち聞いてみるよ。
Oh no! Where's Naomi? She approaches one of the girls at the door to ask. Seems like this is where you pay if you don't have a ticket. 200 yen a cup makes sense when you take the budget into account.
ナオリン、資材が足りないってことで友達と一緒に追加の買い物に行ってるみたい。
Okay,
さ
good.
っき出たばっかりだからちょっと時間かかるかもって。
Okay, good. She's safe.
予想外に人が来てるみたいだよ。
羊さん、場を任せられるようにきちんとしていたんだね。さすがだよ。
I'm so proud of our little cinnamon bun.
どうする？また後で来る？せっかく来たしいただいてこっか。またちょっとしたら来ればいいし。そうだね。うちも座りたかったし。
Miharu nods in agreement. We hand our tickets over and get some coffee. They're the same chairs we use for class, but they have nice tablecloths and decorations set up on the desks. Makes it an ideal spot to sit down and escape all the activity outside. The coffee's nice and fragrant, so they've definitely worked hard on it. I can just imagine Naomi doing her best to teach everyone how to brew it. I hope to get the chance to taste her coffee once she's back.
羊さんもライオン感が好きみたいだね。
言われてみれば小物とかのセンスも似てるよね。ナオミはうちに通ってたし小物を一緒に買いに行ったりしてたからかな。
そうだね。きっとリンカの影響だ。
Hehe. Now ask for some milk and extra sugar. I take a peek into her cup to see the results. Her coffee is almost pure white. She takes a sip before changing the subject.
そういやさ、最近1年に転校生来てたりしてたっけ？白い髪の小さい子なんだけど、見覚えがなくって。
Oh no! Oh no! Transfer student? Small and white hair! Probably looks like a girl! Oh shit, it's fucking you!
朝来るときにちらーって見かけたんだよね。
Oh no!
転校生かい？わからないよ。僕はあまり他の学年のことは知らないからね。
私もマをよく見てるね。いや、あの子は1回見れば覚えてるはずだよ。リータンに負けず劣らず尖ってたからね。高一にしてはちょっと幼い感じだけど、ボーイッシュな顔つきで可愛い感じ。あれはバレンタインにチョコもらいまくりですな。
Yep, that's definitely you! What the hell is he doing here?
そんなに印象的だったのかい？
そうだね。ナオリンのとこに遊び行くとき、どのクラスの子か聞いてみよっか。
まさか。
Yep, you finally figured it out. All the dots connect as she describes the person to us. White hair, young looking, boyish. There's only one person I know who fits that description.
でも、考えすぎかな。制服を着てたんでしょ？そう。だから1年生の子って分かったんだけど。お、帰ってきたみたいだよ。
Uh-oh. A few girls make their way through the entrance holding large plastic bags. Naomi is nowhere to be seen, though. Oh shit. Mao heads to the back to ask again.
なんか、ナオリン知り合いがいるかもって挨拶しに行ったんだって。
No, 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 no. Oh shit, she's in
し
danger.
かも、今話した1年の子みたいなんだけど、挨拶って何があったのかな？
Oh fuck.
嘘！
I shout my thoughts for all to hear. I'm not overthinking things. I can't figure out why, but I just know.
ごめん。どっかで待ってて。
No, 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 no! The flags! The flags showed themselves!
リータン？
I make eye contact with Miharu. Looks like we're on the same page. I rush out of the classroom, leaving Miharu to deal with Mao. He's here. You's come to my school. And he's with Naomi! I make my way out to the hallway, which is as lively as ever. There's even more people than before, which leads to an even bigger line to get to the classroom.
ナオミは？
I don't see them anywhere. You should stand out regardless of how many people there are, so they must not be on this floor. Immediately after that, something I could never expect unfolds. A thunderous roar bursts down the hallway. The whole building shakes. It's a bit too short, too weak to be an earthquake though. Unrest starts to spread through the students and visitors though. None of them expected something like this to occur. Worry and confusion take hold. A sharp headache follows soon after. It's similar to the one I experienced when I first met you in person. Wait, that's right. Our meeting in front of Shigetsugu's house wasn't our first. My memory is still fuzzy, but my psyche is sending me warning signals. Either way, all I can do is head towards the source of the noise. I dash through the crowd who have already begun to settle down. It isn't until I'm on my way to another floor that an evacuation order gets issued. Naomi! Naomi finds herself in pursuit of a young boy. She doesn't know his name, but the look in his eyes was familiar. While the class leader has to make sure everything runs smoothly, she decides to go find some friends to stock up and ensure they don't miss anything, as well as to take charge of the off chance that what they need is sold out. As expected, they couldn't find the exact things they needed, but she was able to pick out suitable replacements. Fortunately, she expected that things might become hectic on their first day. She did everything she could to make sure things would go well, but it's rare for that to happen when doing such things for the first time. Curious about how things are going, they make their way back to school. Everything is fine until Naomi notices a boy with white hair amongst the students. And he's wearing the mecha uniform. The most striking thing about him is that he would be easy to mistake for a regular student thanks to his gender-neutral appearance. However, Naomi is aware of his true nature. He's a participant in divine selection. Could very well be Rinka's enemy. He looks all around as he explores the school. By the way, it still looks good on him. Naomi can only surmise that he's searching for someone, most likely Rinka. At first, she considers getting in touch with Rinka, who's probably still at school but her phone battery has died. Out of all the things to forget, it had to be charging her phone. Oh my god, Naomi! Naomi has already convinced herself to take charge of the situation. She makes up an excuse for her friends and then begins to tail him.
あの子違う。
He resembles a predator searching for its prey. This isn't the same person she saw at the station the other day. Her gut is telling her that he's planning something here. Her heart races, every thump is palpable. Just then, a sharp headache overtakes her. Her mind flashes back to the dreams she had of Rinka's death, dreams she had told Rinka about. Those were memories of an event that had to be undone. There are still too many question marks surrounding it, though. Why it happened, how it happened, and the perpetrator behind it. Her memories begin to catch up with her as she tails the boy. Why is there suddenly a perpetrator involved? The answer is simple. She recognizes the look in the boy's eyes.
あの子との因縁は凛花先輩だけのものじゃない。
No, Naomi, go to safety! The worse her headache gets, the more she comes to realize that her dreams are in fact reality. He makes his way to a less crowded area despite seeming to be in search of someone. It makes tailing him much more difficult. But Naomi refuses to back down. Oh no, Naomi, no! Back down, Naomi! Eventually, he makes his way to a certain classroom. One not being used by any class for the culture festival. It's serving as a storage area for unused chairs and desks. Naomi is able to find an appropriate hiding spot thanks to that. However, her hopes of remaining hidden are quickly shattered.
もう隠れなくていい。
Naomi, he led you here! She can't stifle her surprise at being called out too. Her exclamation may be silly, but she is aware that this is no time to be embarrassed over such a minor thing. While she is unsure of what to say, he opts to carry the conversation forward.
お前が一番の大切なものだということは分かっている。
Oh
あの
no!
時、電車の中で一番はお前をかばって死んだから。
先輩の死。
A chill runs straight down her spine. Her every nerve fires signals of fear upon confirmation that her dreams are reality.
お前自身に恨みはない。だけど、お前には犠牲になってもらう。
Okay, you fuck, don't you dare touch Naomi!
あの人は僕を殺さなくてはならないんだ。
あなたは何を言っているんですか。
Oh no, he saw this coming a mile away.
あの人は僕を生かしてしまった。僕を目覚めさせてしまった。僕は生きていてはいけない人間だ。たった一つの生き方しかできないから。
A light flashes through the room before Naomi can process what the boy means. A massive roar thunders alongside the light. No! The windows in the classroom crack under the atmospheric pressure of the blast. And Naomi is blown away without even a moment to scream. Naomi! Once again, she has come face to face with the bomb. It is in this moment that she remembers her fate is inherently connected with the others. Naomi! Oh my god, you!
お前の尾行には気がついていた。もともとお前をこの教室に連れて行こうと思っていたから助かったよ。
You! How could you? You bastard!
この部屋の机の中に複数の爆弾を仕掛けていたんだ。お前を。
No! Being in such close contact with the explosion has marred her entire body with third-degree burns, and worse. She's gotten pierced by several pieces of shrapnel that formed from the blast. The raw force of the blast had crushed her ribs. Naomi! Her breathing is ragged, weak, and ready to fade at any moment.
選定の参加者っていうのは皮肉だね。 こんな狭いところで爆発させれば僕だってただでは済まないはずにもかかわらず、風向きや壁になった机に偶然助けられ守られている。もう喋れないようだね。
Oh my fucking god, you're so gonna die now, boy! Naomi! Fragments of objects caught in the blast are smoldering in every corner of the room. The cracked windows eventually give in and collapse, allowing a large supply of oxygen to flow in. In response, even the tiniest of flames spark up. Naomi can only lay there as the heat washes over her in waves. All this while her senses slowly, steadily fade.
これだけ派手にやればあっちの方も問題なさそうだね。
Naomi!
まだ喋れたのか。さっきからそればっかりだね。
His frigid expression is enough to douse the strongest of flames.
僕は死ななければならない。生きていちゃいけない人間なんだ。でもせめてその死には意味があると信じたい。あの人に殺されれば僕の死にも意味があったと思えるんだ。
You're just a fucking psycho!
あの人は僕を殺せなかった。このままではずっと同じ。だから覚悟してもらう。
Naomi!
しつこいな。もう間もなく死ぬだろうけれど余計なことを話されると厄介かもしれない。人思いに殺してあげるよ。
The boy approaches and clasps his hands around Naomi's thin neck. Not an ounce of hesitation or worry in his voice. And yet, even on the brink of death, she can notice the grief lurking behind the fierce look in his eyes.
黙れ。
No! He crushes her throat before breaking her neck. The sound of her bones breaking gets muted by the wood crackling in the flames. He notices footsteps outside the classroom. His eyes focus on the door.
ナオミ、
ちょうどいいところに来たね。
Even Rinka's cries are overwhelmed by the raging fire. The fire alarm rings through the PA system, warning both students and visitors of the situation at hand. It isn't necessary for me to understand what's going on, though. I'm bearing witness to the sea of fire that caused it to go off. Inside the room are two figures cloaked within the flames. I can't process the situation immediately. The smoke bellowing from the room burns my throat as I struggle to speak. I may have been better off not knowing what happened. Her body is lifeless like a puppet without its support. And her body is being held by a boy, you. He steps away from her and her body collapses to the floor. I dash towards her in an attempt to catch her. I have no chance to reach her in time though. Just as her body touches the floor, the flames swarm all over her uniform. I press on though. Nothing will stop me from getting to her! Or so I think. Before I know it, I've fallen on my behind. It was Yu's doing. He approached and knocked me down without me noticing.
お前がやったのか。
Gee, who the fuck you think did it, Rinka?
僕は昔から英雄になるように刷り込まれてきた。英雄なんていうのは 使う側にとって都合のいい言葉に過ぎない。そんなことは分かっていたけど、両親を知らず、友人を知らず、仲間も知らなかった。かつての僕にあったのはただ、継続的に与えられる命令をこなしていれば、僕は生きることができた。
わけわかんないこと言うなよ。ナオミに何をした？
お前を殺した時も僕にとっては命令の一つだった。無価値な毎日の延長で僕は死ぬ。僕には僕自身にとって無価値な英雄という言葉が送られるはずだった。僕は変わってしまったんだ。
救急、ナオミ助けなきゃ。ナオミ。
価値ある人生というものを知ってしまった。でも記憶を取り戻した僕はそんなものは望めない。ならせめて僕はお前に価値ある死を送られたい。そう死ねるのは人間だけだ。僕は人間だ。人形なんかじゃないんだ。
Oh, shut the fuck up! We've had enough of you today!
僕を殺して運命に決着をつけてみせろ。
ふざけんな。
Nothing he says registers. Naomi's the only thing I'm concerned with. Not even the flames can distract me from that. Beating back the heat, I rise to my feet. I reach my hand through the smoke towards her.
好きにすればいい。僕たちはこれで死ぬことはない。最後にこれだけ言っておくよ。
ナオミを。
僕だって簡単に殺されるつもりはないよ。
ナオミを返せ。
He was no longer in my line of sight. I don't care about that though. There's only one thing on my mind. One thing I understand the moment I make contact with her lifeless body. It's too late to save her. Help me!
こんばんは、お嬢さん。
Oh my fucking god, it's a purple stranger. Was this all part of the plan? Was it all part of the plan for Naomi to die?
辛かったようだけれど、これも一つの運命だ。
Stop.
炎の中で君はやっと真実を思い出したのだろう。もう見ないふりはできないね。
I don't want to know.
今夜は多く喋るのは無粋なようだね。ようやく運命と向き合う時だ。
Son of a bitch. I noticed the bomb inside the bag. The specifics are beyond me, but it comprised of a tube and a bag. The events come back to me in slow motion. Sparks fly from it, causing the liquid inside the bag to spark. An explosion follows, swallowing the train in flames. I remember exactly who was responsible.
僕は英雄になるんだ。
This was before I had my card book, so I shouldn't have understood what he was saying. But I understand it now, though I'm not sure why. The explosion sent him flying first. The salaryman beside him followed almost instantly. The train was full due to everyone making their way home from work, so this was likely the ideal time to cause the most damage. The smell of burnt fat ran through the train.
Naomi!
My first instinct was to shield Naomi. I felt a tremendous impact on my back which sent both me and Naomi flying. The train had stopped by this point, but panic had spread amongst those not taken out by the blast. Meanwhile, my body had been devastated. I couldn't tell the state I was in, all I knew was that I wouldn't make it. As such, the only thing on my mind was Naomi. If I wasn't going to make it, then I'd do all I could to make sure Naomi did. She hit her head after the blast, however, rendering her unconscious. And I couldn't say for sure whether or not this was a mere coincidence. The boy responsible for all of this landed right in front of me after the blast. The flames continued to consume both our bodies.
やった僕は
ふざけるな。
I'm not sure if we actually exchanged words then. It may just be something I made up as a coping mechanism.
お前は英雄なんかには人間ですらない。ただの人形だ。
The boy used all his remaining strength to extend his hands to my throat, and he crushed it. At that moment, the flames lit up again, blowing him out of the train.
Senpai! Senpai!
Naomi's screams called out to me while I was on the brink of death. As the fierce flames in the train grew fiercer, the fire in my soul flickered and faded. Those were the memories I had forgotten. The truth locked away within my subconscious. It's no wonder my cause of death card never materialized when I thought I simply got caught in a fire. The fire wasn't what killed me. It was suffocation after having my throat crushed.